Okay, guys, this is episode 4. I guess we're on. It's Kris Flores and me, Patrick Ipoko, on today's episode. Justin is actually out of town because he is in a Super Q, as you guys know.
Yep.
He was in North Carolina this weekend, and we can go over that. He played in the North Carolina Super Q, which was in I believe it was in Raleigh, and he was playing the Nick Fury Shield team that we had talked about last week, and he's been testing it. There was 14 people there. He actually lost in the finals.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate.
And then he lost to a Richard Medina. So, just to give you a quick rundown on what Justin was playing, and remember, this is also the second tournament where it's the post rotation of Guardians. So Justin was playing Nick Fury with Brainiac and Rock of Eternity, Fitz, the 50-point Fitz that comes along with that brings Henry with him for free, Shield Recruit, and the 50-point Iron Man. And this was for the not the Civil War Iron Man, it's the Nick Fury Agents of Shield set.
Yep.
Yeah, the super rare. And he had 3 ID cards. It was Shield, Hawkeye, and Iron Man. And he, it's a Shield theme, so he's basically trying to win the map and get on the Crossfire map and just take a shot first because he should win the map if the other guy's not playing theme.
Yes.
So here, let me tell you what he played against. He played against Richard Medina in the finals, and he was playing Lex Luthor 200. It's the George Masu specialty.
Yep.
And he played the Atom, Jarvis, Morlock, 15 points. Yeah, think about that.
Interesting pick.
And then he had 6 ID cards because Jarvis brings in 3 for free, and then he played 3 other ones. And I believe there was a Pandora's box with Lust, and I couldn't tell what this is. But they played. Justin, was telling us what he missed the 5 to kill Adam.
Yep.
And then one of the things he tried to do was he tried to turn off the retaliation on Adam. And then the next turn, he called in. His opponent called in Nick Fury and tried to turn off Outwit.
Yes.
Now, he turned off Outwit thinking that he's going to get the Colossal Retaliation back. And then he comes across, retaliates, and basically decimates his team. Why don't you tell him why that doesn't work?
Well, apparently, from what Nick Fury is, Nick Fury's power is apparently different than Outwit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Outwit specifically says it counters a specific power, meaning anything that
it doesn't counter. Remember, there's a difference. It doesn't counter.
No, Outwit. I'm talking about Outwit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The Outwit specifically counters a power, meaning that anything that power was used on for is terminated at that point. Nick Fury's power specifically states that it basically just turns off that power for the turn or for the next until the next turn.
Or you can't use it. It doesn't turn off.
It doesn't counter it, meaning that Adam's Colossal Retaliation is still there. It's still countered, meaning
basically
or turned off.
It turned off, correct?
Yeah. So Justin didn't catch that and was retaliated, and that resulted in his team basically getting decimated and making it very hard for him to catch up.
Yeah, because he had he thought he was safe, and Adam comes over and does basically 10 damage to his whole team.
Yes.
He had 5 guys, 2 damage each. That's 10 for 15 points, and then Nick comes in and takes a shot. So basically, it was basically over. But that ruling actually came up from before when you would. Let's say you would put up a barrier, and then the person is playing Orange Power Battery, and they turn off the barrier through the Orange Battery. Mm-hmm. Well, the barrier doesn't actually go down; it still stays up. They just can't use it for the remainder of the turn or next turn or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's the same situation here with Nick Fury. So that's a slight error on both their parts. Not saying that guy did it, like he knew and he was trying to get one on him, but that's something that if you want to be a top player, you have to know
that ruling.
You have to know. You just have to know rules. Like I was saying, talking to Aaron about this, that knowing the rules is an actual skill. So, not to throw Justin under the bus. He went all the way over there. He only lost them in the final, so he went all the way over there, didn't lose. So he did a good job, and he did it with, I want to say it's a kind of sort of an out of the box team.
Yes.
Because it's Nick at full, not as they call it, pocket Nick, where he's only 5 points.
That's true.
But that's something that I think that as this game is very, very difficult as it is to learning the rules and remembering the rules and knowing the changes and stuff like that. So it's not anything his fault. But that is what separates
top players,
like the next level.
Yes.
You'd have to pay attention to things like that, because then that could cost you the game.
It could, yeah, definitely.
So those were the top two teams, and then the other two teams was David Williams. Actually, David Williams he's from Vegas.
Okay.
He actually moved to Carolina from Vegas. He's part of the Team Vegas guys.
Yeah. And
he was playing a Krang team. It's our basic Krang that we have been talking about.
Interesting.
And it's the I like to say the Vegas special now at this point, because they have they basically came up with the skeleton of what the build looks like, and then you just, like we said, you customize it how you want.
Everyone else just customize it from there.
Yeah, exactly. So David was playing Krang, Seifert, Baxter, Ultron Drone, the 6, and then Shield level 7, and Batman ID.
Batman, yeah.
And then he had the Pandora's Box with Wrath and Lust. So it's your basic team. He got to the top 4, so it's still a good solid choice to play in the format, right?
Which is true, yeah. I mean, if you have a chance to one-shot a critical member of the opponent's team, you play Krang. I mean, sure, you could do it with everything else, but Krang's like way too good for that.
And then the other side was Marshall Loing. He's a multiple Super Q winner. He's one of the top players from that region, and he was playing a Quinjet team. And this actually he played the Lex team in the top 4.
Okay.
So that would have been really, I wanted to see like how that actually played out. But obviously the Lex team won. But he was playing Marshall was playing Quinjet, Jarvis, Ultron Atomica, Brimstone, Atom. So if you look at this particular team, he's not playing multiple Ultrons. He's only playing one. And he's playing Brimstone instead of another drone. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he's maxed out on his ID cards. He's got Rick Jones, Nightwing, Batman, Hank Pym, Shield level 7 Thor, Black Canary, Red Tornado. It's your basic Quinjet team. However, he has 2 Retaliators as opposed to 1, and only 1 Ultron. So basically, that means if you kill the Ultron, it makes it hard for them to retaliate because to call these guys, because if you look at his ID cards, they don't have that many pieces to call out to call in. That's 40 points or less.
Yeah.
So if you kill that Ultron, which I suspect happened,
yes,
then it became very hard for the Jet to come back, because then the Jet has to actually do the action to call in. Yep. And then hopefully you roll well and you can call someone else in. But by then, if the other guy is, doing anything, Brimstone's 1 click, the Atom is 1 click, Ultron is 2 clicks.
Yeah.
Atomica's 3. She's a little bit harder to hit. Jarvis is a little bit harder too, but he's only 40 points. And now if he's piloting the Jet with Jarvis, then that's one less guy I have to worry about.
That's true.
So that's that. They had 14 players. I know that over there they had more. They have like at least 3. I've seen at least 3 different venues there to run Super Qs, and they've had decent numbers in the past. They've had like 20s, or the one that we went to was 28. But this one had 14. Not sure. Yeah, and then last week's turnout for the New York one was 12.
Jeez,
so it's. I would assume that with the new format, more people would be excited.
Yeah.
Because they could explore it, but with 12 people, 14 people, that's not the numbers we can we expect. What do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe people are either saving up money for the Rock Cup, or they're kind of just either dragged out from Worlds as well, or people are just coming with their own secret tech right now and just saving up for the Rock Cup. Who knows?
No, well,
I mean,
you're also assuming that a lot of the people that went to Worlds,
are going to Rock Cup.
But that's. I think that it's because they're waiting for the Superior Foes.
That too. I actually just forgot about that.
You gotta, it's between that and then also the people that want to play Civil War. You gotta. Sometimes they have a choice. They have to play Civil War, or they play, because it's like like $30 if you're playing 2 battle royals, or you're paying $25 to play in the Super Q. So maybe that's why they're waiting, but you never know. It could be because. Maybe it's just that. Well, I think it's because of Superior Foes. Maybe we'll see after Superior Foes comes out. Then maybe there's going to be an uptick.
Yep.
We do have the U.S. Cup coming up in Vegas in August 20th, and right now from the interest level and from the signups, I expect at least 30. Which for Vegas, as weird as it sounds, that's actually a pretty good number for them because they don't really. The events they run really don't attract as many players as you would expect for such a large place and such a deep rooted HeroClix community. I liken it to anyone you follow Game of Thrones. They're like not to say that they're them, but they're like the wildlings. They're like Splinter. There's so many of them. You need to have a Mance Raider to bring them together so that they can all play in a tournament, right? That's what I think that I am. I could go there and bring all these different groups together. Let's hope.
That's the Jon Snow.
No. Mance.
Oh, Mance. There you go.
Jon didn't bring them together.
Yeah, that's true.
Mance brought them together. That's what we have. That's what I have to. That's what I think. I would like to happen, but you never know because I know a lot of them are also. There's a lot of casual players. They like playing their their own little formats too. So, hopefully that the Rock Cup, the hype and everything will work out and we'll get. My ultimate goal, I would like to have 50 players.
Well, that'd be great.
But 40 would be like ideal. That would be like the best for us because also the venue can fit 50, but it might be a little tight.
Yeah.
And also, since we're only going to have 3 staff members being like judges and scorekeeping, 40 would be manageable. 50 would be great. 40 would be manageable.
Plus UFC 202 that day, the following day. So.
Or is that night?
That night, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's going to be that night. That's the Conor McGregor, Nate
Diaz.
It's the rematch at the same welterweight level. I was reading that Conor was like, they're like, why do you want to do it on the second? Why do you want to do it on the welterweight again? He's like, well, because that's where I lost. I want to get it back.
Yep.
It's like, okay, that's cool. Although it would be better if they fought at 155 because that would be more natural for both. But I know I'm excited to go see it. I know you looked at the prices.
Well, tickets are ridiculous right now.
How much are they?
Well, nosebleed tickets, $202. Up to the ring, close to $1,500.
So nosebleeds $200.
Yeah.
Looks like we're probably going to be
$1,500 to $2,000.
Oh, jeez. Probably looks like we're going to be going to the local bar there, so I'm checking it out. But it would be cool if we actually go to like let's say because it's at the MGM, it's at the T-Mobile Arena, right? The new arena that they have at MGM Grand. It would be awesome after the event that we take a bunch of people and go to the MGM Grand and just go to like a restaurant or a bar inside there and just watch.
Just watch, yeah.
Because I know people people like Aaron are they're big MMA guys too. So, and man, it's also the Pokemon World Championships.
Oh, that too.
weekend.
Yeah,
it's in Frisco, I believe.
Yep.
So a lot of stuff going on, but I think that it's gonna be. I think so. Anybody who's gonna be going there, I would recommend trying to get there Friday, even though the event's only Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
If you're driving in, I would try to get there Friday night, just because you don't know how traffic is gonna be. Because Conor McGregor is the biggest draw. There's gonna be a lot of. Oh my God, there's gonna be a lot of Irish people there too.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere.
There's a lot of.
and this place,
it's gonna be bad.
Our U.S. Cup is off Tropicana. So if any of you know, Tropicana is basically MGM Grand is on Tropicana.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really traffic. It's gonna be a lot of fight fans there too. So it should be awesome. Like hopefully we can get it done by like 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
The whole event, and then we could go watch.
Watch the fight.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I know we talked about this earlier, but you watch Bellator this weekend?
Yeah, that I watched that highlight on YouTube. I saw it, and Jesus Christ, what came out of that fight with MVP and what was the other guy's name?
Cyborg Santos.
Yeah.
He's weird. Not to be confused with the girl.
Made Cyborg's career end in a very peaceful
way. Yeah, so any of you guys seen that?
Damn.
This is Michael Page. First of all, I'll tell anyone, Will Gordon, Aaron Cantu, any of these guys who've talked to me, I've been on Michael Page MVP since day one, since his first fight in UC MMA in England, where he did a freaking tornado,
a Tatsumaki,
kick, and this one he did a tiger knee.
Yeah,
but and that's actually he tweeted that out, that it was tiger. But
shout out Tiger.
He's undefeated. He has 10 finishes.
All under a minute, right?
No, all in the first round except for this one.
Okay.
This one was second round.
Okay.
But they're like brutal finishes. This one, he actually fractured the guy's forehead.
Yeah.
Think about that, guys. He fractured his forehead with a knee. So Cyborg was shooting for basically a takedown. Mm-hmm. And MVP he's so quick and his reflexes are so good that he saw that and right away, as soon as that jumping knee, basically a tiger knee.
Yep.
And he jumped up, hit him with the right knee, and he went, and then Cyborg immediately went down.
Yep. Covered his face.
It was done. And then the ref waved it off. He didn't go after him. He didn't, no ground and pound, whatever. It was done. But then, he did his celebration, which was awesome.
Well, apparently, MVP is a Pokemon fan, because what he ended up doing is he threw a Pokeball at Cyborg's feet, and then basically yatta all the way up
and then
in the air.
And he in his interview he said, I captured a cyborg.
I captured a cyborg.
But it was all cool. And then the next day I see like this report like, hey, he fractured his skull. I'm like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. And then if any of you look up Cyborg Santos, his x-ray, his forehead is the x-ray of it's absolutely crushed. It's just, it looks like what happens when you shatter glass, right? So like imagine shattering a glass but on your forehead. And it was indented. It was gross, because I'm just like, if you watch it, he watched the knee, but you're like, oh, that's a good knee, because you've seen a lot of knees like this. You've seen Aldo do a knee like this. You've seen Anderson Silva, a lot of guys do knees, but none of them
as pinpoint
have crushed a skull.
Yes,
this is. It's like almost like he had. It's like he hit him. It's like someone got hit with a hammer.
Yeah, straight up sledgehammer to the skull.
Sledgehammer to the skull.
Yeah.
Like, geez, and
it's
crazy. You look at it and you're like, I was reading some of the quotes from like an EMT guy's like, that's what a car accident looks like when someone crushes their skull. So. Like I was saying, I know some people are just like, hey, they're protecting him, whatever. Like, hey, but he has. I mean, he only has 10 fights. Yeah. This is his 11th fight. He can't go up right away. You have to build him up. You have to keep, and he's going. He's getting better, and he's fighting. Yeah. Better competition each time, and hopefully next one he fights. Anyone who fights either Paul Daly or he fights Douglas Lima. That was the main event of that night, and Douglas Lima won. But MVP. I know a lot of people like to see him against Wonder Boy. If you've ever seen Wonder Boy, he's basically They're basically mirror images of each other.
Okay.
Just Wonder Boy is Stephen Thompson. He fights in the UFC, and they fight basically the same way. They're like point fighting karate styles.
Okay, cool.
And Wonder Boy has been on a tear recently, and he's just been dominating everyone. So he's, there at some point MVP is gonna have to leave. Bellator. Once he wins Bellator's belt, he will. I mean that's just.
Yeah, Dana's officially gonna contract him for sure.
Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, so that's your sports talk for today.
Yeah.
For that one, but last week we were talking about the ban list for the Silver Age, and one of the we're asking Kris, and the first thing he said was Felix Faust. And we're like, okay,
oh my God,
save this story for next week. So, all right, Kris, tell us what the hell happened. Why is Faust on your ban list for Silver Age if there was one?
So, even though he's been errated, he's still been a thorn in my side.
Well, why don't you tell? Yeah, so why don't you tell the first?
The first thing, it was Worlds 2014, right?
15.
15.
It was just last year.
Yeah, it was last. Yeah, it was just last year actually. So, during the qualifiers, I go 4-0 with the team that Pat helped me build. It was essentially it was in Humans team. No, it wasn't Humans.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't Humans. Yeah, Humans with the Dark Elf Soldier and Hammers.
With Maximus. Right?
With Maximus, yes.
Who was the other one? Is Maximus, Atomica, Banshee?
And Banshee. Actually, yeah. It was slightly in Humans team. So it's Banshee, Maximus, Dark Elf Soldier, Atomica, Split Lip, and Hammers. Took it all the way to 4-0. Was really proud of myself. Was happy to go to top 32. Get to top 32, encounter my first Faust. And to tell you, during those qualifiers, I did fight a few Fausts. I was able to manage those matches and beat them easily.
Oh, during the qualifiers.
During the qualifiers, yes. Come into the top 32, fight against two Fausts in the both Swiss rounds to qualify into top 16. And in both rounds, I swear to God, swear to you right now, I couldn't move or do anything at all during those 2 rounds. Nothing. Zip. I had one chance one time, and it was to try to see if I could regen with Copycat.
Oh, that's right. Oh, he played Copycat Faust.
Yeah,
right?
Copycat Faust. Yeah.
Took your Banshee?
Took my Banshee. I had one chance.
But then he rolled.
And then he rolled no free actions. Or no power actions. I was so pissed. I couldn't contain myself. I seriously wanted to burn every Faust in that tournament.
So you couldn't regen with Copycat.
I couldn't regen with Copycat, and I couldn't get my Banshee. And that's what I really needed to do. To actually somewhat have a chance.
And that was one run, right?
That was one round.
Okay. Well, the next one after that?
The next one after that, I managed to kill... it was a Grasshopper Faust team with Lydia. I killed the Grasshopper.
Was it a red battery?
It was red. Actually, I don't remember the resource.
Okay.
But I'm assuming it's red battery because there's no reason why else to play Grasshopper. Yeah. So it's Grasshopper Lydia. I kill Grasshopper and then I kill Lydia. I'm thinking I'm safe. I could retreat back. Have to make Faust come to me, and it's also a Faust. What's the guy? Arcade. There you go.
So he must have been playing red.
Yeah. He must have been playing red. So it's Faust, Arcade, Lydia, Grasshopper. I killed the Grasshopper, I killed Lydia. I'm up points. He hasn't killed a single piece. I go and retreat back. Faust, next turn, Faust rolls yellow. Yellow power essentially says pick a square on the map. Within 5 squares of that square.
Is it 5?
It's within 5, yeah.
Jesus.
Everyone takes 3 damage. He rolls into 11. I can't prob it. Everyone takes 3. Banshee's down. He's on the last click. Split Lip did die because I needed an enhancement just to get off to kill Lydia at one point just to get enough damage. Dark Elf Soldier died because I pushed him before. And then
did Atomica die?
Atomica did die, and Maximus got on like second last click. And actually, both of the Alpha Primitives died too because I summoned 2 of them at that turn.
Jesus.
So
is it penetrating?
I don't know, actually. I don't believe it is, but it could be, actually. Thinking, especially how Faust is broken as hell. So, he essentially went up a good 100 points over me. And then I tried my best to go all the way back up to the map to try to kill his Faust. And I couldn't. Arcade just ranged combat X for me. Killed my Banshee. And then ended up slowly picking off my arcade, my Dark Elf Soldier and my Maximus, and then that was game.
So you 0-2 against the...
0-2 against Faust. And then WizKids Open in San Diego.
So this was after... So they are already... They had already...
Errata Faust.
They're Errata Faust to where you can't reroll, you can't prob it, and it's within 7 squares, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So... This player, he was playing Faust, Wonder Woman, Chase from Superman Wonder Woman set. So it was a pretty good team, actually.
Green Power Battery.
I'm gonna give him that. It was a really good team, actually. But the whole entire tournament, he specifically told a few people that he hasn't rolled a single power that actually basically turns off a turn for the other opposing character.
He hasn't rolled one of those 4 powers.
Yes.
Those 4 the combat ability ones, right?
Yeah. Comes my game. He rolls it 6 or 7 times on me. I couldn't do anything for at least 6 or 7 turns. And I was playing a triple Mauser Swarm team with Phoenix Force, which to tell you right now, it's a very hard team to maneuver with already.
Yeah, because they only move 4.
They only move 4, so I have to TK, sidestep up,
all the kinds of
carry,
stuff,
all kinds of things. So there was turns where I couldn't move. There was turns where I couldn't do power actions or couldn't do free actions. Couldn't poison, which was crucial because I could have killed Faust one turn if I was able to poison. And I lost. Wonder Woman just picked off all the Mausers, and I couldn't do anything about it.
So. Well, Aaron also agrees with you, I believe, because he also mentioned Faust on there. But I mean, to give a little balance to this, guys, I played against that guy in the top 4 the next round, and the game was 4 turns, basically 4 turns, and he rolled the first turn. He rolled blue, which was lock movement at 3. And then he rolled green, which is his guys ignore hindering. Mm-hmm. And then he rolled blank. Those were his rolls. Yeah. And in the 4th one, it didn't matter because he was already dead. But yeah. So I was actually watching that match, and that was funny because I couldn't believe that he was gonna roll it over and over and over again.
Oh god, that was disgusting.
But what? There was actually, we have a okay, so on last week's episode there was a couple comments here. Jared Buffington says Nighthawk beats Krang. Before that it was like, okay guys. So what do you think of that?
It could, depending on the team. I mean, Nighthawk really hurts Krang's due to his +2 boost and everything like that, with his colossal thing. But if you could get, I mean, Krang is already really difficult to plan against due to the fact that you could just move all the way up to the board. And I tested out with the Scroll Nighthawk team, and I was able to kill the Nighthawk within the 2nd turn. But I mean, it was a close game to say the least because I had to waste the attack on Nighthawk. Mm-hmm. And I believe I did lose to Scroll because Scroll just ended up getting the next shot off. But it's possible.
Do you think Nighthawk is a good answer?
It's a good answer. If you build a team that doesn't incorporate a single other attacker, like if you have a good team with Nighthawk and 2 other attackers, it will lose to Krang. Although, depending on the Krang team that you play, it's a harder matchup. Like if I were to play a Nighthawk team with the Krang team that I used in the States, if they do go up and attack Krang, I have that Ultron to back me up with and just shoot someone down with 6 damage with Nick Fury. And I also have Solaris and Brimstone to do some damage. If you go against a standard cookie cutter Crane team with Nighthawk, it will lose.
Like the Pandora's
The
box.
Pandora's box, yeah. No matter what. If you have Nighthawk on there and you have at least 2 other attackers, it will lose.
So
Crane
that's
will
one.
lose.
So that's one. I think that is relevant here because Krang again, top 4 in the last one.
Yeah.
Krang won another, and it's always up there, so you're gonna see it. So yes, Nighthawk is one, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, Tyler Mirren actually, he asks about what about the Superman Blue Atomica and the 2 shifting focus.
Supermans, yeah.
So we have a couple guys that play this, like Ryan and Jim were playing this.
Yep.
And it's basically 2 shifting focus Superman, Atomica, Superman Blue, and the Justice League ATA.
Yeah.
For the most part, you're going to play the +1 defense. That one.
Yeah.
And then you put Pandora's box, so you give Sloth or Wrath or
Greed.
Envy or something, so, to give more defense. So if you think about it, you can't get pulsed. Everyone's going to have a 21 or 22 defense.
22 defense, yep.
And they have Prob, they have Theme Team, and there's plasticity, so it's going to be hard to hyper in. And they're going to have
either Flurry or Empower on the Pandora's box.
On the thing. Or they can have, and then on the offensive side, they can turn into, as they get close, they can turn into Brick Superman and just hit you for a lot. And then obviously those things have 7 clicks, so it's not going to be hard. It's not going to be easy to actually just kill him in one turn. So what do you think? Where do you think that is in the metagame right now?
I mean, it's in a good spot. It's in a good balanced spot for sure.
Nobody's playing anything like that. That's.
I mean, to be honest, I believe it's one of the few teams that could probably give a good matchup against Quinjet.
Yeah. That I agree with that one, and we'll get into that later on how to beat the Quinjet. But that is something that it's weird because you don't. It's the shifting focus Superman should be something that should be played a lot more than it actually is right now. It's a 19 base defense.
It's pretty hard to get around.
You can shift things around. No pun intended, guys. But you can play like Nighthawk Prime with 2 Supermans.
Yeah.
So you have like high defense and they don't have the bonuses. Of course, you lose your theme, but that's just one option. Without Super Scroll in the format, I'm not sure if Superman Blue is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Because he was there to protect the Pulse Wave. Now there aren't... who's the best Pulse Wave piece that we got right now? Is Black Canary?
Black Canary and Nova.
No, Nova's gone.
Oh, yeah, Nova's gone. That's right. Yeah. Black Canary and, if to a degree, Krang.
Krang, yeah. And Krang would have to be on the second click.
Yeah.
So you would see that coming, but without Super Scroll, Superman Blue could be changed for someone else. Shift to what? I don't know, but that is I don't know. I mean, but you gotta. I mean, I don't know if you want to stick to theme.
Yeah,
or you could break theme. Not sure, but the other thing that is, you don't with 2 Supermans and Atomica, you almost don't give up any points. It's almost like the George Lex Luthor team,
pretty much,
where Atomica is almost impossible to hit.
Yeah,
Lex is almost impossible to hit. This Superman is going to be, the 2 Supermans are going to be almost impossible to hit, let alone kill.
Yeah.
So you have all of that. There was just those 3. That's 3. That's 3 19 defense guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard, especially with the current stuff that we got. I mean, Krang is one of the few who could probably penetrate the defense, but once he does, he hits one Superman and
it doesn't even kill him.
Yeah,
no, but he doesn't kill him because
it doesn't kill him either. It's invincible.
Invincible.
Yeah.
So he'll do maybe 3.
Yeah.
Dude, but will he do 3? I mean, so let's say you max him out to a 14. Like you with a Perplex or Baxter or whatever.
Still needs a 7 to hit.
No, more. Superman will be a 22.
Oh, 22, that's right. Yeah, because he's colossal. He's from the ATA.
So the ATA, that's already 21.
Probably reflexes from Pandora.
Either reflex or the slots would be 22. And then you have a prob with Atomica or Theme Team. Yeah. So Krang's going to need an 8. And then Atomica, you'll need an 8 with Krang to hit all 3 guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's...
It's hard.
I don't think that's even possible.
Yeah.
I mean, you could obviously, but 14 on 22, that's something that I think, unless Nighthawk Prime is going to be played a lot, this could be
the next meta team.
The next team, because against Quinjet, the Quinjet really has no way to deal with the shifting focus Supermans because they're going to call in. It's going to be hard to hit.
Well, hey, if they do play theme team, they're going to be playing in an indoor map more than likely.
It's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard to even target them in the first place.
Yeah. And then the other thing is this. If you play... So there's two versions of the Quinjet, right? There's like the aggressive version, which is like Easton's version.
Yes.
And there's like the more mid-range controller, which is mine. If you play the aggressive version, like Easton's version, you might have a harder time fighting against the Supermen because you don't have a way to deal with automatic damage or things that can turn off. Like, so my version has Peggy Carter with Red Tornado and a Pulse Waver. So with Red Tornado, you can separate, you can punch, you can like kick Atomica away from them, and then
single her
she
out.
takes one, and then you can kill her, and then now the Supermans have to turn.
Yeah.
Because aside from that, if they don't give up any points, there really is no reason to shift them from
the 19 defense.
The defense Superman.
Yeah.
Because you can just sit there and just take pot shots with your other guy, and maybe you kill something little, and then that's it.
That's it, yeah.
But if somehow Atomica gets hit and goes down, now they have to turn. And if they turn, the defense goes to 17. Now it's easier to hit a 19 as opposed to a 22.
Yeah.
And they're soft because the I-Beam Superman only has deflection.
True.
And Hyper Superman has super senses.
Yeah.
So, a good shot with the
Nick or anything like
that.
that.
or a heavy object or Krang hits and you're dead.
Yeah.
So that's something. I think that's something we can definitely look forward to in the new format, or in the metagame to come. When also, I guess we would have to wait until the impact of Superior. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, Tyler also mentions that Scott was reviewing the Chameleon figure.
I saw that.
Which my figure on the unboxing, but now, and he asked if I can talk about it, and yes, we could talk about it now because it's spoiled.
Yep, it's spoiled.
So, so I think that Chameleon is okay. I don't think he's as game breaking as
people think of him to be.
I don't know, because I've heard from at least 4 different top players that Chameleon is basically gonna change the format or change the game, or because he has options. Because basically they're like, you added a sideline, you added a sideboard to HeroClix,
pretty much,
because Chameleon, and I thought about it, and you're right, because Chameleon, you can pick any 3 guys, 60 points or less, and we don't know, and that's open ended. This isn't like it's only these 3 Superman you can play. It's anything. So that means from now until the end of time, when he rotates out, anything that comes out 60 points or less that could be a silver bullet for a matchup, he could be good. But to me, obviously he goes well with Nick because he's a spy.
Yeah, he's a spy.
He's a wild card. He has Perplex, and he can help Nick. He has his where you can't be power where you can't be replaced, and you can't use shape change. That's within 3 squares, so he has to get close.
Yeah.
But in the format with a bunch of Nick Furies
shifting focus,
you can. Yeah, the shifting focus Superman, exactly. You can actually deal with it. Of course, you kind of put him in danger. But since it's not line of fire, and you pick an indoor map, let's say, you can stay behind a wall.
Yeah, that's true.
Stay within 3. And even then, he has super senses, shape change, and stealth.
Yep.
So it's gonna still be a bit hard, a bit tougher to kill him.
Yep.
And he has 5 clicks. So you're gonna have to do 5 right away. And if you don't, he has regen at the back end. So. I don't know. He's got Perplex. So basically, he's 70 points. You're paying 10 points to have
a sideline.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you go a 60-point guy, or 15 or 20, however many points. The other thing is, I don't know how many Sinister Syndicate teams, or like Sinister Syndicate pieces that are out there that can make him really good, right? I mean, obviously, right now, Dr. Octopus
it's crazy.
and Chameleon, they both have the same keyword.
Yep.
So that there's something that could be there, right? But there's still we saw Boomerang. There's Craven. There's Hydro Man. There's Hobgoblin. Sandman. Speed Demon. Beetle. All those guys. So we don't know.
You pull up.
I mean, we've seen some of them, but we don't know what else that they could bring. But if anything, I look at it like this too, and this is what I was talking with one guy.
Huh, speaking of which, Moreland just came out too.
Yeah, Moreland. Yeah, he's basically like Dracula.
Yeah, it's pretty damn.
Yeah, he's beefy. He's pretty good. But I mean, 200 points. I don't know.
He's a sealed beast. That's
in sealed. Yeah, he'll be nuts. But what you can do with Chameleon is, let's say you want to play a theme team with, I don't know, Mystique. Okay, yeah. Let's say you want to play a theme team with Mystique.
Yep.
But you don't want to play. Okay, maybe she's a bad example because she's Spy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who's name like a 60, 55, 60 whatever point piece that okay, here's an example.
Peggy Carter, right?
No, okay. No, but she's also Spy.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's one. Let's say you want to play triathlon. Okay.
Yeah.
Triathlon is good. 60 points, you got charge flurry, whatever. But you don't want, this is just an example. You don't want to play an Avengers or Celebrity. I don't know what his keywords are, but like, let's say Avengers. Let's say you don't want to play Avengers because you really want to play Nick Fury. Well, but you want triathlon on your team because he has got charge flurry and he's got a good dial, good step for 60 points. Well, if you pay the 10 points for Chameleon, you can keep your theme team Spy.
Yeah.
And then turn him into triathlon in game.
Now, question: would you be able to theme team with that triathlon?
No,
okay.
No, because he needs to have the keyword because
gotcha.
You need to have that.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. You cannot theme because it specifically says you need to have the keyword.
Okay.
Right. That's why bystanders can do it, and Henry can't do it either. But that is one way to do it. Like you can keep a theme. Like for example, Spy. You would play like Nick, Atomica, and let's say like Nick, Atomica, and Peggy and Chameleon.
Chameleon, yeah.
But you want to play triathlon because he's a good attacker.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you can. That's an example. Or let's say you want to play a syndicate team together, but you want to turn him into Mystique.
Mystique, yep.
Then you could do that. But still keep your theme. So I think that's where he would be good. I don't know. There's a lot more stuff. There's a thread about it to see who you would
replace him with. Yeah.
Replace him with. So I would like to see how often he would be replaced because for me, my main thing for him was he needed to stop shape change.
Yeah.
Like
that's crucial.
I took the Dirk Anger. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you remember Dirk.
I remember Dirk, yeah.
Where it said he's the only one that can use leadership, no one else can.
Yeah.
Originally, that's what it was, and they're like, no, we need to have we need to have like squares. Yeah. I was like, okay, how about 5? And they're like, okay, how about 4? I'm like, all right, fine, 4. And they're like, I'm like, but no line of fire, just within 4, fine. And it comes back 3 now, and I'm like, crap, because probably they were testing and they realized like,
wait,
to me,
kids test?
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? But yeah, I mean, it started out at 5 and it went down to 3, and so I can only assume that through them playing it, they were probably like, hey, we need to tone it down because when I did make it, it was because I wanted to stop.
Shape change.
No, but remember, this is when I won, and there were still power batteries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Decoys were everywhere.
Yeah, decoys were everywhere.
How mad would you be? Like, I'll attack you, decoy. Oh shit.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So I was like, oh, this is good. I'll stop that. because like you think about it, okay, Battle Fury, fine.
Yeah.
But the format right now is HeroClix is it's a ranged game. It's very hard. There's very few pieces that it's like you're good if you're close combat. Because you start off on opposite sides, you're starting 20 squares away from each other.
Yeah,
it's a range. If you're purely like a close combat team,
you're gonna lose more likely.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like you're going in the battlefield, and then one side has archers, and you just have pure soldiers charging. You're gonna lose like half your force before you even get up there because the archers are gonna be.
Unless your melee guy could move throughout the whole entire map.
Like it have to be like a TK bomb, like Quicksilver or like Krang or something like that. But there was no way really around shape change.
No.
Right? They made Precision Strike. That was like perfect. Got around Impervious and Mastermind and Super Senses.
Yeah.
But there was nothing around. There was nothing really around.
I mean, there's Battle Fury, but there's a lot
of
prods.
Yeah, like I said, there was no. But we're saying
there's no good figures.
No, there's no.
Well,
no,
melee,
but no, I'm saying it's melee
game.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you're gonna die before you get up there.
I mean,
so that's why I did that, and then I just added the replacement part because I actually wanted him to be one of those, like something different.
Yeah.
You know,
that's something.
And I didn't know at the time that they were gonna come out with Ant-Man's.
Yeah.
And shifting focus guys. I didn't know they were gonna do that.
Yep.
And so that actually makes him a lot better.
Yeah.
Than he is. But I'm excited. I like the sculpt. They helped me with the pose. Like actually the picture in there was me. It's like me. I submitted that picture.
Yeah.
Where he's like, hey, you got to be in this pose, and then submit it. And before you get any ideas, it was only that pose. All right. It was none of this extra hanky panky stuff.
Yep.
But
it's a pretty cool scope, actually. I will say.
Yeah, I liked it. I like it a lot. I would actually like to see him off of the mirror. Yeah. And see what but it looks good.
One more rules question about Chameleon, actually, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be wondering about this. When he were to switch to his disguise, would he still be able to use his trait of opposing characters within 3 squares can't use shape change or be replaced?
Wait, say that again?
When he would be disarmed, when he would change into his disguise, would he still be able to use the trait of "I know who you really are, Spider-Man"? On the character he replaced to.
No, he's not there anymore.
He's not there anymore. Okay.
No, he's a completely different guy.
Okay.
So his traits aren't there, but that's why the Master of Disguises part, where it says for the rest of the game,
he's that character.
But it says rest of the game if that guy would be attacked. You rolled 1 through 4. That
character's no longer disguised. Or
that part. That's the only part that sticks because that says for the rest of the game. Right.
Okay.
But his traits and stuff, it's not there. Yeah. So,
All right.
But one of the things that like Justin was pointing out that like, and here's a cool thing. I was talking to Anthony Barnstable, one of the judges. I'm like, because they were asking a bunch of rules about him. You can roll the Master of Disguises trait. Yeah. Before the shape change. So let's say you rolled the 1 through 4 and he reverts to Chameleon. Yeah. You can roll shape change with Chameleon.
So you have 3 defenses essentially.
So you have and then on top of that, if they don't have precision strike, guess what? You have super senses now.
Super senses. Yep.
So let's say it was
let's say by some miracle you have Brainiac on him, you have Impervious. Who knows?
Yeah. So let's say you're putting it on. Let's say in the scenario triathlon. Yeah. So triathlon has reflexes and you're trying to shoot. Okay. You roll. Okay. I rolled a 2. All right. Turn to Chameleon. All right. Yeah. Now I have shape change. Roll it. Okay. It gets through. Okay. Now I hit. Oh, I have super senses. Yeah. And it's like, but if you think about it, before triathlon doesn't have. He just has reflex. Actually, you can just shoot him.
Could you re-roll this roll for the Master of Disguises roll?
It's re-rollable.
Oh, it's re-rollable. Okay.
So you can have. It doesn't say it can't be rolled.
Yeah, it can't be rolled. That's what I was wondering about.
You can mix it, but it still follows the rule of probability control. You can only roll the turn player's rolls. Yeah. So you can't prob it.
You can't prob it
unless it's somehow on your turn.
Yeah.
But you can mix it.
All right. Good to know.
That's one way, and then but yeah. But the other thing is he has stealth too, right? Yeah. So they're asking, what if you're trying to shoot him? You don't have improved targeting. He reverts and he's in stealth. Well, the ruling is once the target is legal, like once you've said, okay, I can legally attack you. You can't stop it anymore, other than evading it or like shape change. Okay. But it can't be illegal anymore if you somehow get into stealth and you can't see him. Yeah. The attack still goes through.
Okay, cool.
So there's that. But yeah, I think he'll be very, and I also think in Seal he might be pretty annoying. Yeah. Because he can turn into your sideline pieces. Like the pieces that you pulled, or he could just be a annoying stealth super sense shape change guy with perplex wild card. Yeah. I don't know if there's any mysticals, mystics, but he could be mystics too.
I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah. So, but that's the.
That's Chameleon.
Yeah, that's Chameleon. So we were also talking about how to beat Quinjet, because last week we were talking about how to beat Krang, right?
Yeah.
So right now in the format, Quinjets are still
pretty strong.
That's still the so like okay, if Krang was like the easy point and click team you could play, Quinjet might be better, but it's harder to play.
Yes.
And B, which I think is the most important part, which is interesting because in other games isn't a problem. It's acquiring the pieces to play your team.
Yes. Meaning
you have to get all the ID cards. You have to get the Quinjet itself, and then you have to get the figures
for the ID card.
for the ID cards on top of that. And it isn't exactly easy to pull these ID cards. The rare ones are hard. I mean, did you see that? The Atom ID card that was like $100?
Are you serious?
There was a eBay. There was a
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was 100. It ended at $105.
Yeah.
For an Atom ID card. Let's see if I can bring it up.
No way.
But then the Nightwing ID card. I sold it for $35.
Yeah.
And that was already way too low, because after that, for like the next 2 weeks, people have been asking about it. I'm like, man, maybe I should have. Yeah.
See, this is with the Atom. Okay.
No, but now look at now I'm pulling up the
sold listings.
The sold listings. WizKids.
Jesus.
Look at this. There's a buy it now that someone bought, $92.95. Buy it now, free shipping. That was July 12th. July 11th, one sold for $104.49 with 20 bids.
My God.
Now you look at these other ones where they're like $29.99, $40, $30, $30.
June, May.
Like these are bargains now. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember Kevin's like, "Oh, I need to get an Atom," and I'm like, "Well, dude, he's like $30," and he's like, "Well, he's a rare, and we can call in the 15-point Atom. So, you know what? I'll just get all the rare ones that you have in the store because I think it's a good investment because we're gonna need this for 2 years."
Yeah.
Like, okay, but I'm like, dude, it's so weird because it's a card, and you're like, man, it's like $30
for a piece of plastic.
And I felt kind of bad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, dude, I could borrow it.
Yeah. Looking at the prices
and then
now
I'm like,
it's a good thing he probably bought it.
Kevin's a genius because the thing went up 300%.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal. At the time, $30 seemed like it was a lot.
Yeah, no,
that's like, geez. And Nightwing's another one too. A level 7 ID card. You have to pull. You have to try to get Nick Fury. He's still like at $50, I think.
Yeah.
And then you have to get the OP kit figures, even though they're not hard.
Still annoying to get.
They're still annoying to get because if you don't play at your local venue to get them, or you have to buy them, and people are less apt to sell them now because Nightwing has an ID card.
Yeah.
Just like I know a lot of people still want Doc Ock and Coriander.
Yeah.
Even though those were like pretty easy, right? But now it's like no one has them. It's weird.
Red Hulk's another good OP figure to have.
Yeah.
And
And then you still have to get pieces like the Green Arrow, the 85-point Green Arrow. That's another one that everyone wants. And then you also have I guess if you want to play Peggy Carter, she's another one. Yeah, even though she's a common prime, people don't want to give her up, man. Yeah. I know people come in the store all the time asking for Peggy Carter, and I'm just like, sorry, nobody wants to trade it.
Yep.
It's
one of those you have to buy at eBay and get lucky, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So Quinjet, how to beat it?
Well, like I said before, during the Superman talk, the Superman switching focus team is actually one of the best contenders, in my opinion, to beat Quinjet. Very hard defenses to penetrate through, a lot of damage reduction. Very easy to tank a lot of the Quinjet's damage from a bunch of the characters that they bring in. From Pat's control Quinjet, it could counter a few things. It goes through. Unless he has an outwit to outwit the Invincible.
You can't.
Oh, you can outwit it. Okay,
it's uncounterable.
So Red Tornado's useless in his team, and
the only way you would do it is you'd have to separate Atomica or Blue, and then kill him from there.
Yeah. But the thing about him, though, is that more than likely, if a player knows about the separation of Atomica, they'll probably put the Reflexes relic on Atomica so she can't get knocked back. So it's really hard.
For the most part, I think they only put 2.
They only put 2?
Yeah, and they'll be on both Supermans.
Okay.
But, I mean, you could change it around.
Yeah.
But then again, if you do that, then they can just separate the other Superman.
Yeah.
Now, defense drops.
That's defense drop. Yeah. You just smack them. Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of ways to play it. You'd have to like basically see how they play it and decide when you put your items on how you want to outfit your guys. But yeah, I think that's one. What else?
Krang, Cookie Cutter Krang has a really hard time fighting against it, so don't even try.
Yeah, so this is what I think I talked about this last week. But like everyone's telling me and this is the part. Then this is the part where it's like if your testing session is it's gonna be skewed because maybe someone's better than someone else or whatever, but really if you do your due diligence in testing, you should find that Krang usually cannot beat Quinjet.
No, yeah.
It just cannot do enough damage. Number one. Number two, if you're playing the Pandora's Box version, that means you go turn 1, he puts the
box. Yeah.
The box. Turn 2, he's pushing to hit, which means he has to clear.
Yep.
Okay, we're like, well, you say, okay, well then I'll just use Justin Safer to let him come up and hit again, or Colossal Stamina. Well, that's also assuming that the other guy didn't call in someone and killed your Safer.
Yeah.
Or retaliated, or outwit, or something, right?
Yep.
Because if you go turn 1, put a item on Krang, the jet moves.
Yep.
Now, if you're not moving with the jet, I think this might be the problem. A lot of them that I've seen just stay in the back and just call in a guy to roll it, and then maybe they could call in someone free and whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And that, to me, that's a mistake.
Yes.
You don't do that because you're wasting a card that you can use. Number one, and number two, your tempo is going to be off because you're still away. So if they do that on one and you move, let's say, a quarter of the way up, and you carry your team, now the onus is on the Krang player to run up and hit, because if they clear, you call out Nick or Green Arrow or whoever you want, and then bam, you kill Safer, you hit Krang, you hit the Tron, whatever, whoever you call in, whoever you want, you can just crush them.
Just decimate the team. Yeah.
Decimate the team, and then if you're even lucky and you roll let's say you roll like a 5 on your jet roll,
yeah,
then you can call in a 60-point guy for free, and then they can go attack as well. So that's like a double. It's like a double attack, right?
Yep.
So so that's one way. So that's how it's supposed to go. Now, if the Krang goes item, jet moves.
Yep.
Turn 2. Because you close the distance, Krang cannot go move up, hit you, and run back.
Nope.
Because you had closed the distance. And if you're playing a version that has Retaliator, Krang can't run back. If he runs back, Adam's going to come over there, or Brimstone's going to come over there and just wreck the team.
Yep.
Right? Between poison and the hit, or Adam's attack, you can just hit. Adam could just hit everyone for 2.
Yep.
So your option is, so the only other option is just stay up there and just hit again. Run up there, hit with Safer, Safer power action, and Krang hits, and then Krang hits again.
Yeah.
The problem with that is that's not 17 damage.
Nope. I could guarantee you, on my word, you cannot kill a Quinjet with Krang at all. I've tried it several times.
I guess in one turn you can't, and that's usually what you need.
Yeah.
And really, what happens is if Krang does come up, does his max damage.
Yes.
Does 7 and 5. This is the 12.
Yeah.
All right. Even outwit it hit 12. He's gonna take 2 clicks.
Heal one maybe.
No. Let's say. Let's say.
Let's say
don't run up and hit.
Yeah.
Then the next turn, your drone calls in Nick
and just kills him
and just hits him for 6.
Yeah.
Now, and because he took 2, 6 is dead.
Yeah.
Now, if you said, okay, let me go up and try to hit the drones, you can. The problem is, if they position correctly, you can make it so that the drones are behind the jet in the long way.
Yeah. And
Krang has to go the long way, because if you can make it so that Atomica is in the way, he's gonna stop.
Yeah.
So, he's gonna have to hit Atomica first.
Yep.
Which means he hits one of the drones. You still have one more drone, which means that drone can call Nick.
Yep.
Or even worse, your jet doesn't have a token, and then the jet calls it in.
Yeah.
So there's all of these different things that can affect the Krang. So Krang cannot beat the jet. That's how it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Right? No matter how, unless they're staying back doing absolutely nothing with, and they actually let you hit.
Yeah, which is crazy. But
yeah.
Krang should, in my opinion, lose almost 80% of the time against jet.
Yeah, maybe even more.
Yeah, maybe more.
Because I know I played against 3 and I beat all 3 and really it wasn't as close as it seemed, because even though I missed, and it was just like bad positioning in one game. I just missed another game, but games were still not close.
True. I mean, when me and Power were testing it, I was using my Rock of Eternity version of Krang with Justin Safert. And this was also when we didn't know about the objects not being with Rock of Eternity. I was actually able to kill the Quinjet in one turn.
But you needed the Ultra Heavy.
I needed Ultra Heavy. But here's the thing. I died due to the Ultrons. And the retaliations. So it ended up being the same thing. Even if you do somehow kill the Quinjet by some god's miracle, you're still losing.
Yeah, because what happened in that game was the Atom retaliated, hit you for 2.
Yep.
Then the Ultron called in Nick, and then hit you for 6.
Yep.
Or hit you for like 4.
For 4,
because you took 2.
Yeah.
2 from the Atom, and then 4 from Nick, and then that was it.
Yep. And then I just had an Ultron that actually died with the Atom, and then Baxter and Justin. That's it.
Yeah. So now, you said the Superman team is 1.
Yep.
What about Nick or Iceman?
I don't know much knowledge with Iceman. I haven't played with him as much, so I can't really say much. But I did see the game with you and David. But
you mean
Derek? Sorry, yes. And I mean, it looked close. I mean, the game did reach quite a time.
It was definitely closer than it looked.
It looked, yeah.
But just the out actioning on my end, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Between the drones and the retaliators, Iceman cannot stop
everything.
Can't stop the. I mean, his base defense is an 18.
Yeah.
So if the retaliation from Atom comes, it's straight up 11 on 18.
You need a 7. Yeah.
7. It's 58%. And then I have a prob. He might have a prob. But then after that, Atomica could take a shot.
Yep.
You could call in someone to take a shot. There's so many things because the drones are still there.
Yep.
If you move up with Iceman to try to lock the jet, which is what you should, because if he's able to lock the jet can't call in for free.
Yeah.
Right? That's huge, and they can't call in anyone. The problem is there's drones, there's some versions there's Jarvis, there's retaliators, there's Atomica, and the pot shots are just gonna be, it's just gonna be too much.
Yep.
So what about Nick? Straight up Nick teams. Like, what about Justin's
team? I mean, I've seen seen what happens, and Nick just doesn't do much damage. He's a single target destroyer, and when you have a team that has multiple targets that are essential to the team, you're kind of stuck knowing what to hit. Do I hit the Ultron? Do I hit the Quinjet? You hit either one, you're still gonna lose because the Quinjet will just call in his Nick, shoot your Nick, and game's over.
That's true, and that is the main thing that we had talked about with Justin was he needs to have multiple bolts.
Yeah.
So one of the weirdest, it's so random to think of something like this, was to actually play like a drone team with Nick, but with Thor ID.
I know, right?
Because
who would have thought of that?
Because you're like, not because like, I put Thor, bring James Foster Pog. No. But because
the inspiration gives the person
is another bolt.
Another bolt, yeah.
And so like Nick can hit
two Ultron
drones. So basically the key here is you need to kill the drones first.
Yes.
And so unless you can hit the jet in one turn, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
If you can kill the jet in one turn, then obviously that's good. But if you can't, and you let them have another chance to either call someone in and then call in someone in for free because you didn't kill anything.
Yeah.
Then you know, if you let them, if you don't do it, then it's moot because you might die before you get another chance. Let's say you hit it for like 15.
That's still,
which is possible.
That's still 2 clicks away.
It's not dead.
Yeah.
Which means he can still call in someone, and then you roll, and then if they call in someone for free, that's 2 extra guys.
True.
And now the momentum is shifted. Now you have to push your guy or have another guy take a shot at the jet to kill it.
Yeah.
And now you push your guy, the jet died, but now it did its job. But then the counterattack the turn before, you lost something.
Yeah.
So now these guys are gonna keep countering. So you need to have the drone. You need to have a way to deal with the drones. Not only the drones, but if the versions have retaliators, you have to hit the retaliators. It's so weird. You have to do this, you have to do that. But
it's funny how like the team before, I mean, Quinjet was actually kind of manageable when Nova was in, because Nova could actually pulse the whole entire board, and then
that's one of the reasons why I switched, because I had Red Hulk and I switched to Nova for Worlds because of that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I go up against a drone team or another jet team, I can move up there, bring in Nova for free, possibly because he's only 60 points, and then I can pulse his team for 2, and that kills all the drones, and it kills the retaliators, and it hits Jarvis for 2, all that stuff. But another way to do it, I would say, so the other one is Quicksilver, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know there are ways you can do double Quicksilver if you want with the empowers.
Yeah,
that's one way to do it. But that also means you need to run up there and be able to outwit, because he has invul.
Yeah, he has invul,
and you won't be able to do enough damage unless you have an outwitter.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna spend 150 points on Quicksilver, it might be. Yes, it could be good. 150 points. If you play like a theme team and you play like Quicksilver, and then I don't know, Captain America and stuff like that.
Well, if you're saying double Quicksilver, how about double Ock?
But you need to be able to run up there. How do you get up there, brother? So you go. Let's say they go turn. Let's say they go. You go turn with Ock. You go.
Yes.
Turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
They move.
Yes.
That means turn on your turn 1. You have to be able to run up there. Oh, the jet moves, and now Doc Ock has to be able to move.
Mm-hmm.
If for some reason, so you have to be a theme.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get the theme and the Quinjet wins, they just pick an open map. And then where you can't go anywhere. Yeah, and then they could just call Nick and then they're just gonna either hit Doc or even hit your Vanisher or whoever your guy is. But you can't rely on that, right?
That's true.
So the other option, the other thing too is like let's say you win the map of Vanisher and then you hide behind like a wall. Let's say you're in like the Baxter's lab.
Yeah.
Well, if the Quinjets are doing it right, they should have Ultron 6. They can call someone, and then the drone can just run through. Yep. And then base them, and then shoot with Nick to hit the last guy. So that's why I don't think Doc works. Quicksilver works because he can get there in 1 turn. He can either move with Cap. Cap can power action to move him 7, and then he can move 13. Right, or he can get TK'd and then move whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or even on turn 1, he can just move like part way up.
True.
And then having 2. That's one way. But I don't know how viable that is, because it's a lot of points, and you have.
It's a lot of setup.
It's also a lot of rolls that you have to hit. I don't like I can kill you, but I just need to roll 6 times in a row. Like, what the hell?
That's hard.
This is why Nick and Krang are so good, right?
Because
Krang be like, I can do 7 damage. I just need to hit once.
You hit once,
whereas I could do 7, but I need to roll 3 times.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not rolling 3 times in 1 time. You have a higher chance of you missing, right? Because you're just rolling more times. But what do you? And then so the other thing that I was looking at was some kind of ranged attacks with like multiple bolts, right? Like we talked about with Thor. But something like Green Arrow, not the gravity of Green Arrow, because you need to be able to ignore characters. Because for the most part, the jet will be carrying the drones.
The drones, yeah.
So you need to be able to either energy explode, and then just hit them in the back, or ignore the jet and just shoot past and hit the drones with multiple bolts. So that Green Arrow with an entity does 4 damage, 3 bolts. So you can target 3 guys and just do 2 to a drone, and they're dead.
Or since he has 3 bolts, Does he gets energy explosion, right?
You can, but you still need to be able to do penetrating.
Exactly. You have Brainiac. You get penetrating from that, and then just get the Quinjet, and then it'll kill the rest of the team.
But that's one way. But if they see that, then
they're
just going to separate. Which is why I say you need to be able to
target.
The jet. Because if you don't ignore it, the jet will just be in the front and block the drones.
Yeah.
Right?
The drones will just sidestep back one square, and then next turn you can just sidestep back in one square. And then,
yeah. So multiple bolts is one.
Mm-hmm. How about Lex? Now that we saw that Lex beat a Quinjet team.
Yeah. I don't know. I have to see how it plays because I need to see what the ID cards look like because I know that they call in like War Machine, Nick, and they can hit. The main problem I see with that is like, let's say you call Nick does something. On the counterattack, there's a chance that Nick dies. Yeah. Because you can't hit.
You can't Lex. Yeah.
So you have no choice but to hit him, and that's sometimes that can be bad because, like, well, instead of making them decide who I hit, you give them no choice but to hit that.
Pretty much. I mean,
so then they could just focus fire on him.
I mean, that Lex team is either going to be prioritizing should hit the Quinjet or the Ultrons. They're more likely going to hit the Ultrons to get the points. So you're essentially trading a 120-point Nick Fury for a 30-point Ultron.
Exactly.
So that's a good trade.
Exactly. So that could be an option. If you're playing the George's version with the Atomicas, even though it's hard because they have 19, 20 defense, whatever, there is a possibility you could just straight up hit them for 3, and then they're dead. And now you're up, and then you just spend time running around and hopefully getting Lex. Does he ignore characters?
Lex, no.
So there's a possibility what you can do is if you can, because the jet's so huge,
just tie him up.
You can just tie him up.
Yeah.
And then just be like, all right, try to break away and try to get it from, but then at that point they could just call someone and just, I don't know, because like one of the ones that they call Wonder Woman. Oh, okay. I think she has like charge flurry, like 4 or 5 damage super strength, something stupid like that. So that is another option. I mean, that's a really good team. Yeah. I don't know just how. I mean, it did win. It did win the North Carolina Super Q. So it could be good, but I just don't see it being.
Well, like most Quinjets, it all comes down to what ID cards they use too. So. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Because if you're playing. Yeah, because one of the main ones is
Black Canary's a good one.
Black Canary's good. I think that's a staple that they put on there. But the other thing too, I was saying with Lex is they hit. Remember, he's like 7 or 8 clicks. Yeah. So let's say you're able to pulse him for like 5. You pulse him for 5. Then he gets on. He has lust. No, not lust. He has sloth.
Sloth. Yeah.
Then he gets to or even 6. He has regen.
Yeah.
He can regen and then sloth. Like he can sloth and the next one regen or whatever. Yeah. But then he still has his
token.
Subterfuge token.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean?
Question. If you were to somehow let's just say that happens. You attack him. Actually no, wait, hold on. Let's turn this around. Say he for some reason he attacked with Lex in this case. Okay. You pull out Nick, and you know you can't kill him. But if you take off, if you outwit the... Oh, wait, it's not there, actually. Never mind. Forget it. Never mind.
Hard-hitting analysis.
Yes, okay, never
mind. So that's basically what we're seeing right now, right? Yeah. Is just Quinjet, Krang, Iceman, Nick. And then I think the Superman should be slotted nicely.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Doc Ock teams might be better because Sinister Syndicate's coming out from Superior Foe, so who knows?
I mean, not to mention, Overdrive. Yeah. The guy can make a...
That's the secret.
The guy can make a freaking vehicle out of a light object that could carry 4 people.
I know.
For 35 points.
Yeah, he's Syndicate, right?
Yeah, he's Syndicate. I mean, he's a piece to look forward to.
All right, Doc Ock. Looks like you have your spot.
Yep.
And he can move. I think he moves what, 11?
It's sidestep 11, yeah.
So it moves 11. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you move 11 squares, but it's a free action to make the object.
Yeah, it's a free action to make the object. So you could just go ahead and pilot.
So you could go sidestep, make an object, or make a vehicle, pilot and move 11 sidestep.
Yep.
So it's 4 plus so 15 squares. Drop Doc in the 16th square, and he has Giant Reach 2, 18.
18, yep.
So 18 square
Doc Ock.
Oh my
Bomb.
god. 18. It could even be actually 19 because you make the object. So
It's
19 because so if you're in your starting zone, and then you sidestep 1, 2 with overdrive. You on the third square you make your object.
Your object, yeah.
You power action to pilot.
Yeah.
Then you move 11 squares, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yep.
And then after that, he sidesteps 2,
Yep.
1, 2, and then he drops the docks right here.
Yep.
What is that? From your starting zone?
That's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you put him on the 17th square, and he has giant reach 2, so he can hit
19 squares.
19 squares. Almost your starting zone.
Yep. No, that's actually more range than Krang.
So on this team, you could. So okay, that's one way. Okay.
Yeah.
Against a Jet. Or against Krang, if you win map, you just go pass.
Pass. Yep.
Because then they can go run up and hit you.
Yep.
Oh shit. Actually, they could go farther. They can go if you want to replace. I don't know if you want to do that, but you could replace
a Doc Ock with Clarion.
No, you could replace the attack. You need to be theme. You can replace the attack with overdrive.
Oh, that's true.
Because he gives them sidestep.
Yeah.
So let's go 2 more squares.
Yep.
21. So it's a Doc Ock sitting 21.
Starting zone. Return for all characters with this trait. If a character uses a Sinister Syndicate team ability to replace their attack by with override, that character can use sidestep this turn.
So they can sidestep.
Oh, they have to have that trait actually.
The what?
So once returned for all characters with this trait.
Oh, with this trait.
If a character uses a Sinister Syndicate team ability to replace their attack by overdrives, that character can use sidestep.
Oh, so then it won't work.
Yeah, it won't
okay.
work.
Oh my god. Okay, so fine, 19 squares. Sorry. Instead of 21, it's 19 squares.
19 squares.
So you basically can't move. So if you play on a short boarded map, let's say just two squares in.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any. Do you know if there's any? In this
Not really, actually.
Because if there is, then you can hit on turn 1.
Yeah. Actually, no, yeah. Star-Lord's ship. But that's a rotated out. Never mind. I'm thinking of...
Damn, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's one. I mean, think about it. It's overdrive is 35. Doc Ock is 80.
Yeah.
160 plus 35.
What, 35, yeah. That's
only 195.
That's 195, actually. You have 105.
I have a lot more points left.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow. Yeah, and he's got Outwit with Flurry.
And fuck, you can fit a Clarion there too if you want.
Yeah. No, but you need to be themed.
Yeah, for those who don't want to be themed, you can do Clarion, but theme is better.
Yeah, so you can just run all the way across. Yeah, I mean, I guess with like a 19 square move, I guess you don't need theme.
What's a Sinister Syndicate? There's 50-point Norman Osborn.
You want to know what's a 70-point syndicate?
Oh, Chameleon. Yeah. Oh. Do Chameleon switch to Peggy Carter? Turn off Invincible? There you go.
Or you can just leave him out there and he has Perplex and he can turn off a shape change.
That's true.
You can just kill Nick.
Yep. Yeah, that worked.
Yeah, having Perplex and all those. Oh my god, that's okay. So this has a possibility to hit the Jet.
Yes.
Because that's 24 damage.
That's 24 damage.
3, 6, 9. So he had 24 damage. Oh my god. Okay, so
that could kill the Jet and the Ultrons.
You could actually just wipe everything and just leave the Jet.
Yeah.
You hit it for a couple, but you wipe everything else. That is gross.
That's...
and it's a vehicle, right? That everything is a vehicle.
Overdrive, the character itself. No,
but the thing is a vehicle.
The thing
right?
is a vehicle, though. Yeah,
so
charged up vehicle. Like my ride, hop in. This vehicle can only be piloted by a character named Overdrive.
So that means there's no -2, and there's no it doesn't stop for characters. Like it ignores characters, no? Like vehicle rules.
It has a vehicle symbol.
Yeah, so vehicle rules ignore it. Oh
yeah,
my god.
Vehicle rules ignore it.
Dude, I'm gonna try to make that the POG for the US Cup.
Oh, nice.
If it's out before then. Oh no, I can't because I only have 10 days. I wish they had a scan of it up here, then I can get it and I can grab the image.
And
make it.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll be something for sure. What is he? A rare common? What?
He's number 29. Let me see. I think he's an uncommon. Yeah, because it's with the Venom Prime. Yeah, it's an uncommon.
Oh my god. Well.
Yeah, and he's one of the figures that could be as the pure white figure. So if you want to paint him whatever way you want.
What do you think of that? So there's like I think they make it every booster you get a.
From what it seemed from Scott Porter's, it was like he got like 8 out of the 10 boosters got a white figure.
I like that. Do you like that?
Not really. It's gonna encourage a lot of duplicates more than anything, and also it's,
collectors are gonna go nuts.
Yeah, collectors are gonna go nuts. Yeah, I mean you're gonna have prices for commons that are be in the.
No, it could be more. Well, I mean, it could just be for the. They might not be that much, but for like, hey, I have the a sketch variant. I have the sketch variant set.
Yeah.
$1,000. Right. Oh man, I wonder how rare these things are. But I don't know. I think I would. I wouldn't. I don't know if I would want.
It's something that should
like
just
like a chase sketch. I don't know.
Yeah. Are there chase sketches?
I don't know.
That would be weird.
Oh God, I hope not.
Yeah.
There could be. You know what they could be if they really want to be like really artificial demand. They can make those like Connolly's.
That too.
They'd be like, let's say you go to WizKids Open and then the prize is a set of the sketch variants. Chase. You know what I mean? But like they don't come in boosters. They're only a prize.
They're only prize.
Oh yeah, they're like that. WizKids, they were called like masterpiece pieces, I believe.
Yeah.
Before, where they were like, you can only get them. They were not in boosters. You had to like win them. Yeah. So also this weekend was EVO 2016. I know Paris went there. Shout out to Paris. Oh yeah, he's right. He was
there. Yeah.
Did you see him on the stream?
I didn't see him on the stream. No way. But yeah, it was a very exciting tournament for those who are in the fighting game community.
Oh, he was there probably for Melee, no?
Yeah, he was probably there for Melee. Yeah, he's a Melee guy.
Who won?
Hungry Box using Jigglypuff. It was his first evolution win. The dude teared up when he won.
Was there? Mango was there too.
Mango was there.
Mewtwo
King. Plup. A lot of big players in that top 8 for sure.
I'm a Street Fighter guy, so show me the Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Top 8 was Infiltration, who got first. Fudo using Armika, who was the crowd favorite due to the fact that no one else was using Mika and everyone else using Nash and Chun-Li. Basically turned into another Third Strike championship in a way.
What are these like? Is that their
that's their sponsor, yeah.
What's RZR?
It's Razer. Razer makes keyboards, mouses, and a few other things. Some fight sticks.
Justin Wong was
Justin Wong with 13th place. Yep. Tied with those other 4. Tokido.
Hey, do you recognize any of these guys from when we went to? Because we went over here. We're from Southern California, Orange County to be exact. And the esports arena is in Santa Ana, which is where Alex Del Valle is he's like the proprietor there, and they have Wednesday night fights. So anybody who's familiar with that, it's a great venue. We were watching it. Are there any of these guys in there?
No, none of the guys from there, but I did see a few of them that played in pools in the first couple of days. There were some there, although unfortunately they drowned.
How many people?
5,100 people for Street Fighter 5.
5,000?
Yes.
Holy shit! It's like a poker tournament.
It was a lot of people.
5,000. What's their entry fee to play for them?
$10
each. Oh, they each have 10.
Yeah, and that entry fee goes to the pot, and I don't remember the pot exactly how much it was. Let me check.
5,000.
It was definitely a lot. EVO 2016. SF5 pot. Let's see.
Yeah, because I mean that but some of that has to go to like the venue, right?
Yeah, some of it does go to the venue.
I feel like the entry should be more, just so I think people wouldn't mind paying $20 and make it 10,000.
Actually, it could have been more too. Actually, now that I realize it, but because I was looking through the.
Okay, it should be more because Magic tournaments like their Grand Prix are $70.
Yeah.
For constructed, the Grand Prix LA that we went to, $70 was that entry.
Jesus. Actually, I think it is more because I think they had to pay for the.
I figure it would.
For the first 2 days, they had to pay for the convention center, and then also it was, I believe, it was just a, it was like a $20 for pools, and once you're in through the pools, if you happen to get into the top 8, that's it. But yeah, it was a big event, record breaking, for sure. And trying to get the pot as to how much they could win, can't find it for some reason.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but
damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I think that's basically it. We have to. So wait, let's just see what's coming up in the next couple weeks, because we had 2 events already.
Yeah.
In consecutive weeks, and there will be something coming up, rock wise. There is this upcoming week we have Goblin Games in Kokomo, Indiana. PJ Boland's running this. This is the guy that ran that Ultron drone team at Worlds. And
okay.
Let's see. This is the first time we're gonna have this, I think, and I feel like it's going to be a pretty big event because they're pretty good, pretty good turnout. So we'll see. And then there is the national, the Canada National Cup. Mm-hmm. It's being hosted by Mike Payne of Married with Clicks.
Okay.
The Metal Lab. That's August 6th through 7th.
Yeah.
And then after that is August 13th. That's in Leeds, Alabama. Bud's Place Games. Super Qualifier again, and then obviously. And then there's next week. Dang, there's a.
It's a regional by.
Wow, there are 3 events this week. There's 3 events coming up. There's the Super Qualifier in Goblin Games in Indiana. There's a. I'm sorry, it's just 2. Yeah. The regional in Tulsa.
Yep.
And that's in
Dice Addiction.
That's in Oklahoma, and Dice Addiction. They always run good events. So. Regional Super Qualifier, we'll try to get the results for that. Mm-hmm. I'll have the full results up for the Greensboro or the North Carolina one in a day or 2. Yeah. As we always have it ahead of everyone else.
That's true.
And just to let you guys know, we have the Apex Insider site where we have articles from the top players and results, and anything basically to help you become a better player. Mm-hmm. We also added some podcast links, including Critical Clicks, which Kevin and Scott are doing. They have episode 5 now. It's on the front page of the Apex Insider site. It's majestixccg.com /apex-insiders. And I also added a podcasts link, which has all the Hero Clicks related shows, like Married with Clicks, like the aforementioned Critical Clicks, 2 Clicks from KO, and Clickstuff, and then the Apex Insiders Den will be on there too. But the competitive community is starting to grow.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just hope that it keeps going, because this really is a great community builder as well, because a lot of people will go travel to meet, to play other players. So you're outside of your comfort zone, mm-hmm. outside of your store. You can meet some great people, learn as well, and that's I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, is
learning from other people and knowing that there are other ways to play than just whatever you're playing, whatever pieces you're playing in your little group, because not everyone knows. No one person knows everything about clicks, so
that's true.
I learn when I go to different places, and like let me tell you, at the Nationals, I didn't believe that Zombies beat Quinjet, because I was saying like how the guys were playing at the store, and Adam Friedman and Scott Crampton basically showed me how they beat it, how they're supposed to beat it, and this is how you play it, and you do it this way, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know we were playing the zombie base this way, and that's why I was winning. Mm-hmm. And that's something that you can only learn by
playing others,
going somewhere else and learning, right? Yep. So, that's something that I'm gonna take with me, and even though it's rotated out, but use it, can apply that principles to something new.
Yep.
Let's see what else here we have. Aaron's starting to do these player spotlights. He did one on me on their 2 clicks from KO site, and now the next one I actually put it on our free articles section. It's on Easton Brock, the son of the Rock.
Yep.
Or he hates when I say this, but I call him Easton the Beaston Brock.
Easton the Beaston.
He's like, it's weird. I don't get it. But also we have the rules corner, which Amber Collins now. It's not Kennedy. Amber Collins is Jason's wife now, because they got married last week. So congrats you
to them. Yeah.
She does our rules corner. So if there's anything new that comes out on the the WIN rules forum, or any kind of weird interactions that she deems that it's worthy enough to go over, she'll write an article about it. And so the last one is on malice and the equipping wording on her, and because I think how it was worded before was, you don't score the points if malice dies. She goes to equip to another guy. But they changed it to when she's KO'd, she goes, so you'll score her 75 points, and then she goes on to someone else. But
you don't score her again then, right?
No.
No, okay.
That's why, and that's something that they changed. And then I have I just wrote an article, the team building essentials. It's part 1. It's probably a 2 or 3 parter, but basically it's just no one is really. I've talked about it to some people, but I haven't really actually put it down on paper, and I think a lot of people would like to know what are some of the essentials that you need on your team. Like what like actual tangible pieces, and the types of strategy. So that's on the premium section, so you can read that, and then I'll have part 2 probably next week. Aaron has the review from the month of June, which basically covered Worlds and Nationals. Yep. And Tiago's gonna have the clicks of the week is gonna be up this week too. It's gonna be on Quicksilver, because I think that's where it's kind of going. Like Quicksilver, Clarion, Doc Ock, those. We were just talking about how the melee pieces weren't that good. Yeah. And now, because of like pieces like Overdrive and Vanisher and Quicksilver, you can actually play a melee piece. Now we'll see if it's actually good. I don't know. Well, that's why we'll have to see these events. So that's basically it. And then also Colt won. Colt Baldridge, he's Texas guy. He's won. He's won 2. He's won a regional and Super Q, like back to back. So nice. That's another guy to on the radar for people if you're gonna see who seek out the best players in an area. He's from Texas. And Carlos Quinones won the Super Qualifier, which we talked about. Yep. So we'll see how the format forms, and hopefully we see some more innovations, because right now it's, what do we got? Like I said, Krang, Quinjet, Nick Fury, and then now we saw Lex. Yes. Lex is going to be in there. So there's basically the 4, and I really hope that Superman gets on there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Quicksilver, Doc Ock.
Yeah, I mean, once people realize how effective Superman is against Quinjet, they'll start to play him for sure. Yeah.
So that's basically it for this episode, guys. Make sure to comment on your thoughts on how to beat the Quinjet. Yep. And if there's any other types of teams or archetypes or pieces that you think should be in the metagame but it's not, let us know.
Yeah, point them out.
And then and like I always say in my articles, when in doubt, perplex the attack. Yep. Night, guys.
Night.